Welcome back, folks. Thank you very much for staying tuned here. I am joined now by Erin Zimmerman and of PFund. Yep. And we've got Vaughn Rolls here as well of VGM Con, and we wanted to take some time to talk about the charity that VGM Con is supporting this year, being PFund, specifically your Transcend project at the moment. And yeah, I would love to hear you talk a little bit more about that.
Sounds good. Thank you. Yeah, so we're so excited to be here. PFund, is doing a lot of we're part of a lot of really amazing work happening right now that, is working to impact trans people here in the Midwest, and excited to be here with you all and do a little bit. Do you want me to explain a little bit about what Transcend is? So Transcend was started in the spring of last year, actually, when we started seeing a lot of anti-trans kind of laws coming up around the country, but more specifically here in the Midwest, as it became illegal for trans youth to seek and get care that's life-saving and life-affirming, and we knew we had to do something about it. So when we launched the campaign, we knew we wanted to bring the community together in order to do that. There was a lot of people, a lot of allies who said, I need to do something about this. This is really important, but I don't know what to do. And so we created the Transcend campaign, which was a chance for us to raise funds for organizations all around the Midwest who were doing the really important work. So we were amplifying, the different organizations that were doing, either healthcare work or, access different types of trans related organizational work, and really shedding light on the work, because a lot of those organizations are pretty small and are maybe focused more on their local kind of community. And so it was bringing voice to that, but then also raising those vital funds.
That's amazing. And Vaughn, VGM Con has always been really great about selecting important charities to donate to. Last year it was the charity creating some prosthetics for those who were suffering in the Ukraine war. How did you come across PFund, and what made you want to leap into to help and assist with that?
Yeah, so we initially discovered PFund Foundation actually through one of the staff members at Midwest Speed Fest, one of our partners for this year. They're also live streaming right now. Check them out at Midwest Speed Fest on Twitch. And by the way, everything donated, whether it's on Midwest Speed Fest's channel, whether it's on this channel, or even through the charity album jam that we do every year at VGM Con, all of that will be supporting PFund this weekend. And we found out about PFund because in the speedrunning community, in the video game music community, there are a lot of queer and trans people, and at VGMCon we really try to create an environment where everyone can feel welcome and be themselves. And naturally, a lot of people in the queer community have gravitated to that, and it's become kind of a really amazing place where we can all be together and be ourselves. And so one of the folks at Midwest Speed Fest actually suggested to the VGM Con team that we support PFund Foundation when we were looking for our charity partner this year, and it seemed like such a great fit that resonates with what we want to see in the world and what our community wants to see. And so ever since then, we decided, yeah, that's clearly the right fit for this year, and we're really proud to have already raised over $3,200 for PFund Foundation.
Yeah, that's amazing. I just love the consciousness of your audience and your community, and just showing the proactiveness to support that is really incredible. I really appreciate VGM Con for that. As Vaughn has said, yeah, on the Warp stage we've seen $3,200 in donations so far. I mean, that's a really great number. Erin, do you want to speak to a little bit like what that kind of money will help do, and like where that goes and what the impact is for that?
Totally. Yeah. First of all, it's such an amazing number just to get to see that happening from folks who are just learning about us for the first time, or maybe who have known about us. We've been around a long time, but some of the things that we were seeing right away with needing this Transcend Fund, there are families in South Dakota that in order to get their kid to the doctor, they have to travel upwards of 500 miles. And this is, you're not just going to the doctor once a year necessarily with this type of care. And so so some of the funding has been able to help support people to pay the gas and, the hotel stays if they need to stay for longer kind of visits in order to kind of address the problem. And that's not solving the problem. It's really a Band-Aid. But right now we're really working with our partners around the region to, try to undo some of this harm, and we're seeing some of that coming undone, which has been really great to see the courts kind of stepping in and saying that you can't have this type of discrimination, this type of bigotry, enacted in law. And so this funding allows us to support those families. It allows us to have folks access care if they come, say, here to Minnesota to see a doctor. We're working with our clinics and hospitals in order to try to increase the amount of access that there is for those folks, because we're seeing dozens and dozens of families moving here to Minnesota from the states that are really, not safe for trans folks. So, yeah.
That's incredible. Thank you for being here and for sharing some information about that. It's really nice to have a representative to come down here and tell us a little bit more about it. I think the work that you're doing is very important, and I really appreciate that. Is there any other final thoughts that either of you want to say about PFund before we move on?
Yeah, you can check us out on our website, pfundfoundation.org. We do all kinds of different programs. And if you are part of the LGBTQ community yourself, we do scholarships for students age 17 to 100, to go to school for 2-year, 4-year programs, those kinds of things. And then we do, event sponsorships for LGBT events like Pride festivals and other types of things too. So definitely check us out for all of our work. But there's tons of more information about Transcend. So far, we've been able to award $130,000 in grants over the last year, and that's still just a drop in the bucket for what we know we need to do. So all of this funding really helps, and I just want to say thank you to everyone here and everyone tuning in. So thank you.
And I want to say thank you, Erin, for making the trip out here. I feel like when we're doing these events, we get the best impact and can raise the most money when we can hear from the organization itself. So thank you so much for making the trip out here, joining us at VGMCon in person, and we really appreciate you and all the work that you're doing. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you both again. And folks, if you needed any more incentive than doing the right thing, we are doing a mini game here on the Warp stage. Folks, if you donate $5, we have a special board. This is our legally distinct sinking ships game.
Not Battleship.
Not Battleship. Not to be confused with Milton Bradley anything.
Wind Waker. Miyamoto came up with this himself.
Yes, but if you donate $5, you can pick a coordinate on this map. You see many donations have been made, and we've knocked out some splooshes and also a few kabooms. So we've got a 3-square ship taken down. We have 1 2-square and 1 4-square to find still.
That includes people here live at the event. If you want to donate to the PFund Foundation, $5 would get you a hit on the sinking ships board. If we sink all the ships, I'll put a handful of spicy jelly beans into my mouth, chew, and then swallow. So we have 2 days left for that. If you want to see me suffer on twitch.tv.
Ill-advised, but entertaining nonetheless. Thanks again, Erin and Vaughn, for coming here. We're going to get ready for our Name That Tune round with special guest Jer Roke. So we'll take a quick break and make sure we're all good to go with that, and we'll be back in just a moment. Thank you.